The Island Resort and Casino Stay and Play Golf packages for 2025 are filling up fast. Take advantage of early season package rates through May 23rd. A favorite among golfers, Island Drift Spa. Enjoy therapeutic or targeted massage, float therapy for deep relaxation, or new red light therapy to enhance muscle recovery. Book your Island Resort and Casino Stay and Play Golf package today. Complete details online at islandresortgolf.com.
This report is brought to you by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. Visit sidingunlimited.com.
If you haven't called Siding Unlimited for new windows, what are you waiting for? This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, and I want to share with you a couple stories. Recently, Siding Unlimited installed new windows in a home, and the homeowner loved the experience. Linda W. said, I was extremely satisfied with the service that was provided by Siding Unlimited. I had a new roof and new windows installed in my house. Linda loved that she chose the right company for peace of mind. Loved her windows were warmer and her roof didn't leak. Also loved the colors. Larry, another Siding Unlimited customer, was thrilled with the experience. Larry's home looks brand new. Go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page and see our pinned message to listen to Larry's testimonial, but also see his house. Again, Siding Unlimited, knocking it out of the park. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit the 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Window Contractor of the Year winner at sidingunlimited.com. Definitely listen to Larry on Instagram at Siding Unlimited LLC.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
All right, so the Brewers lose today, but they won 2 out of 3. They win the series. I know, they got it to extras and then they dropped it, but that's okay.
Yeah.
More on that coming up in sports throughout the day. First, it's kind of sports. It's kind of the sexy, crazy stuff that Julia likes. It's the Brett Favre documentary. It is a hot mess. Tori Lowe, 1017 The Truth, one of the biggest Packers fans that I know, is with us in the studio. Tori, thanks for hanging out.
Thank y'all for having me.
Did you see the documentary?
Yes, I had to see it.
Me too.
It was about Brett Favre, the legend.
No, it was all about that side chick.
She was the star. She was in that. Jen Sturger was all over that documentary.
It had Favre's name on it, but Jen was the highlight.
Totally.
And they never really talked to each other or met.
He wasn't even involved with her. He was trying to get to her.
He wanted to.
He sent everybody know about the pics.
He sent nude photo.
Yeah, and so the thing is, you don't want to see somebody that brought us back to prominence as Packer fans. In my lifetime, I've shared so many moments with my family watching Brett Favre on Sundays. And so to see this documentary, and we knew it was something risque about Favre off the field.
True.
It was always there, but it was able to be pushed down. But now that he's not playing and exciting people on Sundays, these type of things can rise to the top. And I think it was a hit piece. To tell you the truth.
It was. It was one-sided for
definitely a hit piece on Brett Favre. Somebody.
Well, it was, but
but it was some truth
like
in
most
there.
of it was true.
Well, you know where me and Brett Favre really came into our fork in the road was when the Mississippi stuff took place, and that's when I really had to look at Brett Favre and say, "Hey, look, what type of human being are you to take money from those mostly in need?" I'm an advocate. And no matter how you look at that situation, Brett Favre was guilty.
So, Tori, I'm with you 1,000%. I don't respect what he did to his marriage, if those things are true. But that's more private.
Right.
His wife stood by him. They made amends, whatever.
She
I don't need
forgave
to be in
him.
the middle of that, right. But what he is alleged to have done in Mississippi,
yes,
the poorest state in America,
yes,
with the least government funding for underfunded families, if he diverted that money like it appears he did, there are text messages where he was asking, like, there's no way the media can find out, right? Nobody's ever going to know about this. No one will know about what if you're not doing anything that's wrong.
He was trying to, clear his back end. Yep. I'll say this, as a legend, as a Packer legend, I think most Packer fans will always have Brett Favre close to their heart when it comes to being Packer fans. But off the field, I think that a lot of people are saying, hey, he may not have been that same person that we knew on Sunday.
And he was never convicted. They also went into
True.
the Aaron Rodgers thing behind the scenes, how mad he was when Aaron Rodgers got drafted.
Oh, yeah. But see, that's the kind of stuff, Julia, to your point earlier, I wanted more of. Like, I
too.
guess I would have been more fulfilled with a full
Right.
Favre documentary, right?
This was not that.
It was not.
I when I got finished watching that, I was like, this was mostly about that girl.
Totally.
It was
totally.
only about that girl.
And I was thinking I was going to see some more of inside stories about other players.
Yes.
And you
They
know,
didn't even mention
Yeah.
Reggie
Oh.
White once in a whole documentary about Brett Favre.
Right.
And the two of them partnered up to bring the Packers back to the top.
So this was a hit piece to me. This was like, we finna show this side of Favre. It's juicy, it's scandalous, and we're gonna throw that out. I thought you couldn't do that. I thought without a lawyer's permission, I thought they couldn't use your image and likeness. And
Netflix has really disappointed me lately
Yeah.
with their documentaries.
I liked it, but I hated it at the same time. Like, there was no way I was turning away from it. But at the end, I felt unfulfilled.
Did they have
I felt
any
like I
of
didn't
her
get the whole
replies?
story.
Did they have her replies to his text messages?
Yeah, most of the time she did not reply. And she talked about that. I had read that previously. Most of the time she literally ignored him. And he was still ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom.
The photo. Come on.
Yeah, don't do that.
yeah, I mean, I don't know why
Don't do
people.
that.
I don't know why people send things like that
I don't either.
to strangers. You know,
Don't do that.
That's happened to me.
Where you've received them
Yeah.
from Favre?
No. No.
Have you really?
from guys.
Well,
Yeah.
you were very prominent, and so like people know you,
Yeah.
and you would get weird people that would send. Wow,
Yeah, even
Well,
on
I'm an
Snapchat.
advocate, and I get it too.
wow.
Yeah, even on Snapchat, like I would get it for like, you see it for like 15 seconds, and I went, oh, and I showed my husband. He's like, oh.
I don't know if I should be happy or disappointed. I'm the only one in the room that ain't never gotten a
No.
naked picture sent to me.
Some people, they just feel like they
Johnny
want to get
don't.
your attention, and they throw that quick thing out there, and
Wow.
you be like, "What in
What
the
kind
world?
of world are we
Yeah,
living in?
I mean, I guess
It's gross.
It's crazy. All right, well, I'm glad we got your take, Tori, because I know how big a Packer fan you are. So I really wanted to.
Well, to
Get-
me,
get how
I
you
feel
felt
like
about it.
I'm always love Brett Favre as a player. You can't take away what he did on the field.
One last quick
There you
question. So if you're at Lambeau Field and he comes out at halftime and he's getting some honor or something, are you, one, hooting and hollering, really cheering for him like if you didn't know any of this? Are you cheering for him, kind of maybe clapping because of his football deal? Or are you sitting in your seat because he's a dirtbag?
He doesn't get the full like, "I love you."
Okay.
He's that relative that you got to give tough love to.
I don't think
You
I
lo-
want Tory Love tough
You
love.
know the tough love where you be like, "Hey,
Tory Love tough love would be tough.
you ain't gonna get the whole thing."
Okay. All right.
You
I
may
got
get
you.
a little,
Okay.
a light clap. You know?
People are going
little
to
bit.
cry.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. All right, Tori Lowe Show, 1017 The Truth, Monday through Friday, 1 to 4. We appreciate you, Tori. Thank you so much.
Hey, look, thank y'all for having me.
It is 4:14 at WTMJ.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake, tee off at the Lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course, or unwind at the award-winning Caladora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen, explore stunning shores and historic landmarks, and enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin is going to take great care of you. If you've got a shoulder that's not working right, a knee that's kind of gimpy, maybe you're not feeling great on the golf course, Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin going to help you. Top doctors in the area. I've been there. I've met the doctors. They're helping me. High patient satisfaction ratings. Here's the deal, too. At Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin, it's not always surgery. As a matter of fact, they're going to try to work with you to work through your problem, do everything to avoid the surgery. But if that's what you need, they're going to do it like nobody else does it. Advanced diagnostics, all the scans. OHOW.com is the website. OHOW.com. Just go there, hit request an appointment, and start your journey to feeling better.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
State of emergency in Mayville, Dodge County, the morning after. Severe weather, including at least one tornado ripped through there.
Eric Billstad.
Mistaken gunshots prompt a heavy police response and frustration in downtown Milwaukee.
And traffic with Debbie Lozica.
We have an accident now, 43 northbound the Rock Freeway.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ.
everybody. Debbie Lazaga here for Kohler Services. I'm so excited because Kohler Services just transformed my old bathtub into a beautiful new Luxstone shower. They were able to gut out my shower area, take it down, haul the old tub away, and reinstall the beautiful Luxstone shower. Stephen, Luke, and Will were my installers. They did such a great job, kept everything super clean, and they were able to do it in just 2 days. Absolutely beautiful, and off I am with my brand new shower. I am loving it. You can request your free quote for a custom shower, Luxstone shower, by visiting KohlerServicesWI.com. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment, Flanners.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanners Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanners, just press play.
All right, traffic and weather. Here's Debbie Lazaga. Deb.
All right, now that the game is letting out, it's not the most comfortable ride right now. We do have a crash westbound 94 at about 35th Street, and then everybody leaving the stadium. So it's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze. We've got pretty much a parking lot westbound on 94, basically from 13th Street all the way past the accident scene, past Hawley Road, then back on the brakes from the Zoo Interchange into Waukesha County. We've got a crash on westbound 894 as well. This one is heading into the Hale Interchange. It's off on the left shoulder, but it's kind of a mess through there, so give yourself tons of time to get through that. We've also got one other accident on 41 southbound, just south of Hampton Avenue, off on the left shoulder. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, light showers, a low of 44 degrees. Tomorrow, light showers early, a high of 54. Friday, partly cloudy, 60. Saturday, partly cloudy, a high of 63. Sunday, partly cloudy, a high of 64 degrees. Right now, it's rainy and 46.
419 on WTMJ, the cover-up of then-President Joe Biden's decline. It's laid out in a new book that's co-authored by CNN anchor Jake Tapper. It's called Original Sin, just released yesterday. You may remember that he moderated, John, that terrible one and only debate between Donald Trump and Biden,
I remember,
which led to him dropping out of the race. Here it is if you forget, just to get you a refresher. And it's tough.
Strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare.
That was worse than I remember.
Julie, that's so hard to hear that.
I know. Tapper made the rounds promoting his book. He went on the Megyn Kelly show. She railed into him. Ooh. He talks about what was going on behind the scenes at CNN during that televised debate. They were messaging each other about how bad it was going. Here you go.
So we have iPads, because you can't communicate, obviously, talking to your control room during a debate. We have iPads where you can write on them. I wrote, holy smokes. I mean, it was just shocking. Dana writes to me on a piece of paper, he just lost the election.
I can't believe he really.
Wow.
Because you talked to Dana. Remember?
Yes.
Which one?
DNC. Yeah. DNC. I respect her a lot. Wow. Ooh.
Tapper shares what happened right after the debate.
It was just, I don't think this is hyperbole at all, the worst debate in the history of presidential debates going back to 1960. I just can't think of anything even remotely close to it.
And then you saw him immediately after, you write in the book, and he seemed like unaware that something extremely problematic had just occurred.
Jill helps him down from the stage. It's like a one-step stage. Maybe it was a little distracting because there were weird lights or whatever, but that looked weird too. But they come over to the table. Trump is long gone. He's probably in the air at that point. And they come over, and they really didn't seem to have any idea that this had been as bad as it was. And it was very awkward. He said something about sorry about my cold. Can you he tried to say something about how much Trump lies, and then he said something like, I guess we'll go see what the commentators have to say or something like that, and he and Jill wander off.
Tapper questions this, John, and I'm all for this argument. For real.
So I'm 56, so I'm now at the age where, like, I love sleep. And I even thought as this debate started, why are we starting at 9? This is so late. And then when Biden started to fump around, I thought, man, starting this at 9 was really a bad idea. Why didn't they ask for
never
like
should
5?
have agreed.
It was late.
It was. I remember thinking it was late, too.
Tapper also says he apologized to Laura Trump about this exchange when she was questioning Biden's mental acuity. This was on CNN. Here's their exchange,
and
unedited.
It's very clearly a cognitive decline.
Okay.
That's what I'm referring to. It makes me uncomfortable
You are
to
no
watch somebody on stage search for
this is so
questions.
amazing.
You're trying to tell me that what I was suggesting was
I think that you were mocking his stutter. Yeah, I think you were mocking his stutter, and I think you have absolutely no standing to diagnose somebody's cognitive decline.
And it's very concerning to a lot of people that this could be the leader of the free world.
Okay.
That is all I'm saying. I genuinely feel
Laura
sorry
Trump.
for Joe Biden.
I appreciate it. I'm sure it was from a place of concern. We all believe that. Laura Trump, thank you so much.
Do you want to apologize to Laura Trump now?
I've already apologized to her. I called her months ago.
And what did she say?
I mean, I don't want to disclose the contents of a private conversation, but I thought the conversation went well, and she said that she would never mock anybody's stutter.
So he apologized.
Yeah.
That's
intense.
That was a tough one. And then Megyn Kelly lays into Jake Tapper for basically profiting off of Biden's healthcare so-called cover-up. And she asked why he ignored the issue on his show when high-profile articles were being released before the debate about Biden and all these health leaks.
How did the Wall Street Journal get it in June of 2024? And Jake Tapper and CNN couldn't find sources for this story then before he dropped out?
Annie Linsky and Siobhan Hughes did an amazing job in their reporting. They should be heralded, and I heralded them. I had them on my show right after the debate. But Annie
After
Linsky,
the debate. But you did not put them on when they published that story, which was before the debate.
correct. I don't know what the booking situation was, but it wasn't because I didn't want them. I'm sure I said that day, let's book. If we're going to do this, let's just stick to the facts here, okay? When there is a damaging
Jake,
report.
that's what I've been doing all along.
I'm
One
talking
of
about
us
what you just said.
didn't miss the biggest story of the century when it comes to presidential politics, and one of us did.
Whoa, that's intense.
Yeah. So he's not getting away with it. And Jon Stewart's even laying into him like,
Yeah.
okay, now you're profiting off of this
Yep.
when we all should have known about this.
And he protected Joe Biden. He didn't want to question and probe. And now he's got a book out where he questions and probes, and everybody wants to buy the book.
And she's like, you interviewed 200 people. Like, why didn't you get a hold of them before
Yeah.
this all
Right.
happened?
And anybody would talk to Jake Tapper. He's like a very renowned, pronounced journalist. He
Mhm.
could have had those stories, and now he's making money on it.
Yes, that's the
a
problem.
tough interview. I got to go back and watch the whole Megyn Kelly interview.
Oh, it was so uncomfortable. There was long pauses.
Ooh. It's 424 at WTMJ. Let's check out the markets. It was a terrible day for the stock market. The Dow was off 817 points. The NASDAQ was down 270. The S&P 500 was off 96 points. Annex Wealth Management's financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
A Brewers Group outing is the best way to celebrate any special occasion. Whether it's a birthday party, anniversary, or bachelor party, baseball is better with the group. Grab your crew of just 15 or more for an event you won't forget. Brewers account reps make your day at the ballpark a breeze. Plus, get set up with customizable tailgate spaces, seating blocks in your favorite location at American Family Field, and much more. Start planning your group outing now at brewers.com/groups.
Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Outdoor Living Unlimited. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech decking installer. We install anything decks and more. Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
What if you could lose up to 1 pound of fat every single day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, they've got the secret, and it's helping people shed serious weight fast. Hey, it's Steve Scavini from WTMJ. I've been on the Milwaukee Weight Loss program since January and currently in the maintenance phase after losing, get this, 40 pounds. It was fast, easy, and safe, and I'm sticking with the incredible team at Milwaukee Weight Loss to keep the weight off. Their doctor-developed, easy-to-follow program helps people lose weight naturally and safely with no drugs, no risky injections, no meal kits, no shakes, no exercise required. It's not just about losing weight. It's about resetting your metabolism to keep it off for good with personal coaching every step of the way. And guess what? Their program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in just a month or two, up to 1 pound of fat a day. Book your free consultation now at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com or call 262-449-1180. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Anybody out there like political ads? I already know your answer, and it's because a lot of them are bad. Phony dialogue with the sound effects of a diner in the background, dramatic voiceovers with scary music that changes into happy, hopeful music when the candidate being pushed is described. Whatever happened to an honest pitch from a candidate that doesn't sound like they're reading, but rather expressing their genuine passion to bring about change? Use us and we'll drive that home, and voters will believe you. Anderson-Smith.com. We will help you win in the next election.
Making a big advertising budget work? To us, that's easy. We feel that our ability to make small advertising budgets work in a big way truly demonstrates we really do know what we're doing. And that's why we should talk. We'll take your advertising budget, put it to work, and if history tells us anything, it will be the best investment in your business that you've ever made. Go to Anderson-Smith.com, email me, and I'll call you in short order. Because small or big budget, we help advertisers get better results.
Welcome to our Everyday Health feature, sponsored by the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Across the nation, more than 104,000 people are waiting for organs that will save their lives, with more than 90,000 of them waiting for a kidney. Living Kidney Donation works to close the gap between the need and availability of donor kidneys. Here to tell us more about Living Kidney Donation is Leanne Mixon, Vice President of Transplant Services at the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, and a living kidney donor herself. Leanne, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start with having you tell us about the need for kidney donors and how Living Donation can help.
More than 90,000 people are waiting for kidneys across the country, including more than 1,100 here in Wisconsin. The wait for a deceased donor kidney transplant can be several years. People on the wait list have an increased mortality risk as well as a higher risk of complications due to their primary disease and dialysis. Living Donation helps increase the pool of organs, leading to less wait time, more organs that can be transplanted, and often boosts outcomes for recipients.
As someone who donated a kidney, what would you say to others who may consider being a donor?
I would encourage them to do it. Before I donated, I talked with several donors who said that they would donate a kidney again in a heartbeat. Now, having been through the experience myself, I can wholeheartedly say the same. Seeing firsthand the life-changing impact that donation has for so many, I absolutely made the right decision. And if at any time during the process a donor decides that they don't want to move forward, they can stop the process, no questions asked.
Did you feel like your health was a priority to the care team?
I absolutely did.
Was it a difficult process?
It was a pretty easy process. A fair amount of testing just to make sure that I was healthy enough to donate.
Why should someone choose the Freighter to the Medical College of Wisconsin Living Kidney Donor Program?
Our team of experts provide exceptional care for live donors from the earliest point in the evaluation through hospitalization and follow-up care. A dedicated transplant coordinator works with the donors through every step related to donation and stays close to them following donation to support their recovery. And all along the way, the donor's health is the care team's priority.
Leanne, great information. Thanks for being with us today. For more information on Living Donation, visit freightert.com/transplant, or you can call 414-777-7700.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Richlawn's Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlawns.com when you're due for service.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: a contentious Oval Office meeting with South Africa.
I'm Julia Fellow. A Racine teenager charged for the death of his sibling.
I'm Debbie Lazago. Westbound 94, a crash at 35th Street off on the right shoulder, adding to the already heavy ride. Right now, we've got it basically solid out of the Marquette all the way through the Zoo interchange to the county line. More delays then from Elm Grove Road all the way past Calhoun and again right past Springdale. On the eastbound side, slowing from Highway F all the way past Brookfield Road. You're back on the brakes from 84th Street through the stadium interchange as the game lets out. We've got delays all the way to about 27th Street. And an accident on westbound 894 on the ramp to get onto northbound. It is off on the left shoulder. We've got about 4 different cars involved and a squad there to help out. Very slick conditions out there, so be very careful and make sure you have your headlights on. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Scattered light showers tonight, a low of 44. Tomorrow, light showers early in the morning, mostly cloudy, some clearing late. The high will be 54. Right now, there's rain in Milwaukee at 46 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, President Trump welcoming the president of South Africa to the White House, where a not-so-pleasant exchange took place in the Oval Office. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
It began with compliments, but quickly changed when President Trump played a video furthering allegations of genocide against white South African farmers.
Burial sites all over the place.
He also produced a pile of printed news articles.
Death. Death.
South African President Cyril Ramaphosa kept his composure even as he pushed back, saying the problem is crime, not racism.
People who do get killed, unfortunately through criminal activity, are not only white.
Adding he is willing to talk about these and other issues, including trade. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Hardline Republicans are still opposed to what President Trump calls his one big, beautiful bill. Given the Republicans' slim majority in the House, they can only afford 3 defections in a floor vote since no Democrats are on board. CBS, Erica Brown.
The House Rules Committee began debating the legislation in the wee hours, even without a final deal in place.
Americans need this legislation to ensure our economic survival and the sustainability of this Republican government.
You guys and Trump are perpetuating the exact broken system that people hate. You're rigging things for the rich and powerful.
The committee's vote is the last hurdle before the bill can go to the full House for a vote.
Voters showing disapproval on President Trump for his early actions in his second term. The latest Marquette Law School poll shows nationally that a majority of people think the country is on the wrong track, mostly disapproving of tariffs, continued inflation, spending cuts, and foreign policy, especially of the Russia-Ukraine war. Voters approved of the president's border security policies, his handling of immigration, and they are in favor of tax cuts. They also say that landing on Mars should not be a priority.
A teen in Racine is charged for the shooting death of his younger brother. A 16-year-old Pedro Sacida faces first-degree reckless homicide with use of a dangerous weapon. His 11-year-old brother, Jesus, died of a gunshot wound Friday. The teen told investigators he was playing with a gun when his brother tried to take it away because he knew Sacida wasn't supposed to have it. He's in custody on a $150,000 cash bond.
The Oak Creek Common Council is giving the go-ahead to build a popular travel center just off I-94 near 27th and Elm.
Construction could start later this year on the state's first ever Buc-ee's.
This doesn't have to get approved tonight.
Residents upset with the development questioned why the council was voting since the DOT still needs to okay the project.
Let the state review the whole thing and then you can go ahead and decide.
But the council did vote to move forward. Stan Beard from Buc-ee's.
We pride ourselves on the experience that a customer has when they come to a Buc-ee's, whether it's on July 4th weekend or on a Tuesday afternoon.
Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All sports desk. The Brewers ended their winning streak, unfortunately, in Game 3 against the Orioles, losing 8-4 in the 11th inning. The Brew Crew heads to Pittsburgh tomorrow for a 4-game series with the Pirates.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:35.
Lake Geneva is the Midwest's premier golf destination, featuring breathtaking views, crystal clear lakes, and rolling fairways. Treat yourself to an all-inclusive golf getaway with courses designed for all skill levels, luxurious lodging, distinctive dining, and a relaxing spa. Plan a Lake Geneva group golf outing, a corporate event, or a weekend getaway with friends or family. Their pros will help you plan a memorable golf experience. For info on courses and more, visit lakegeneva.com today. Lake Geneva, it's always been the place for legendary golf.
John Mercure here for Landworks Wisconsin. Are you thinking about your curb appeal? A few changes can make a huge difference. Landworks Wisconsin specializes in bringing your landscaping dreams to life. From refreshing your existing gardens to creating entirely new outdoor environments, think gorgeous new plantings, inviting pathways, and expertly designed spaces to relax and entertain. Landworks did our yard. It is absolutely fantastic. It's like a new space. Don't wait. Call landworkswisconsin.com. Let's make your yard the envy of the neighborhood. It's Landworks.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
You're simply the best.
Our amazing travel secretary, Ann Sayers, is with us, and she's sponsored by Travel with travelwisconsin.com. And good afternoon. Thanks for being here.
Hi, so good to be here.
I love this. We're talking about summer, and we know how to kick this off, don't we?
I mean, this is it, the official beginning of your summer vacation, Memorial Day weekend. Lots of ideas for you today.
Yes, and I've been to this many times, the Bratfest in Madison.
Yes, world's largest. This is an annual celebration of summertime fun that happens in Madison. Bratfest brings the community together for 3 days, live music, entertainment, of course, a whole lot of bratwurst. Each year, festival goers consume tens of thousands of brats, but it's all for a good cause because seeds benefit. They feature musical performances from local and national carnival rides, activities, and more. It's all happening at the Alliant Energy Center between Friday, May 23rd and Sunday, May 25th. And while you're in Madison, definitely stop by UW-Madison's Memorial Union Terrace. That's another one of those iconic summer experiences where you can socialize, relax, and soak in the sun on a lake.
All right, what if we need resources, Ann? What if we need ideas how to plan out all this stuff and check on conditions?
We got you covered. We've got the Wisconsin Trail Report. This is a trusted resource now for planning any kind of activity around hiking or biking. It's an interactive map. It helps visitors find trail networks throughout the state, and you can learn about the conditions as you're heading out for hiking and biking.
Okay, I think we lost Ann. We're having trouble with Ann. So, Ann, we'll try to catch up with you down the road. I'll tell you what we're going to do here. I'm going to recap a couple of things that Ann was going to share with us, so we make sure that we get you this information as you plan your kickoff to summer. In addition to the Wisconsin Trail Report, there's a cool thing called the Wisconsin Fishing Finder. You can find that at travelwisconsin.com as well. Oh. It's DNR launched. It's really cool, Julia. It provides anglers with the info to get more fish on their line at all our lakes, rivers, and streams around the state. And it has details about the fishing seasons, boat accesses, where to find certain species, fish stocking information, and more. That's cool. It's the Wisconsin Fishing Finder.
And there's also fairs and festivals of all kinds for the holiday weekend for Memorial Day, which is a very somber holiday.
All sorts of stuff that does start this weekend. Sturgeon Bay Art Fair, the Fine Art Fair is going on. It's a 2-day event with 80 artists selling works of all sorts. It's like sculptures, paintings, jewelry, woodwork, and more. It's on Saturday and Sunday at Martin Parks. You can do this on Saturday and Sunday, and then maybe on actual Memorial Day, kind of think about our fallen heroes a little bit, have a quiet day at home. And if you're a foodie, check out visiting Fond du Lac on Sunday for the Fondy Food Truck Festival. It's 34 food trucks in the lineup. You can snack your way from truck to truck while enjoying views of Lake Winnebago from Lakeside Park.
And this one's interesting. Travel Wisconsin has a list of natural and human-built wonders that leave visitors feeling wowed, like Coeur Andre State Park. And what is the other one? Do you see that?
Yeah, the Frank Lloyd Wright, Taliesin. That Frank Lloyd Wright stuff is really, really cool. It's actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site. You walk through it yourself. It's kind of self-guided. Mm-hmm. And for all the stuff that you want to check out, go to travelwisconsin.com. It is travelwisconsin.com.
You know, what's really cool about the Bratfest, too, John, is that it is a mini, mini, mini summer fest. There's several different stages that you can walk through. And then there's like a carnival area. So it's really beautiful. It's gorgeous. I love it.
It is really super cool. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
What kind of condition is your mailbox in?
My mailbox, it's just, I still have my wrong last name on it.
What?
It still says Fellow when my actual last name was Klappa. It's not doing good.
Well, now is the time to take care of this.
Okay.
It's Mailbox Improvement Week.
Oh, wow.
Mailbox Improvement Week.
What does your mailbox look like?
Mine's good, actually. It's a basic black mailbox, but in my subdivision, we replace them every couple of years, so it's good. It's except for one spot where I accidentally hit it with the mirror on my car.
Oh, no.
I pull in when I get home. My routine is I pull up to the mailbox. It's on the other side of the street, so I pull the wrong way. I know, it's like a clown show.
I've hit my neighbors, too.
Oh, your neighbors? And I dinged it with the mirror.
While my friend was in the sunroof. Don't ask.
We need pictures.
No.
There must be proof of this.
It was horrible.
So every year the Postal Service designates the third week of May as Mailbox Improvement Week. Mailbox
Would you do
Improvement
a brick
Week.
Thing?
Oh, no. Oh, my God. Can you imagine if I hit that? Then I'd destroy my car. Mine is just a basic black mailbox. In my neighborhood, we all have to have the same mailbox, and we all have to have the same lantern. We all have to They want it nice and tidy.
I like
so
that.
we have black mailboxes with the
Can have
little
a
traditional red
obnoxious
flag.
one.
Yeah, like a big carp, like those ones that have a fish or a Packers helmet. Really weird stuff. So take care of that mailbox. It's like the entryway into your house.
It is.
People see the mailbox, and that gives them a first impression, good or bad. So check out the mailbox. Do it this week during Mailbox Improvement Week.
Fantastic.
This public service announcement brought to you by WTMJ Radio. It is 4:42 at WTMJ. Dale Koinga with us live in the studio up next.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Dan, what are you doing?
Taking a closet for a test drive.
A test drive?
Here at Inspired Closets, we have our own cutting-edge immersive design experience.
That's right. Envision by Inspired Closets uses AR technology that's sort of like test driving a car.
Virtually walk into your custom closet at scale before anything is even built.
You can even make changes in real time, so your environment will adapt to any design revisions you make in that moment.
Get started today at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets, a wife and husband team.
All right, here we go. Annex Wealth Management, going to take care of every single need you have. Big need, small need, wherever you are in your financial journey, boomers, Gen Xers, millennials, from market swings because of the trade tensions to maybe positive days. Annex Wealth Management has your back. Unique challenges, they're ready for any scenario, backed by decades of expertise. Annex operates as one team. Financial planning, investment, tax, and estate pros all under one roof. They're your partner, delivering unbiased advice to secure your lifestyle through retirement. With trade uncertainties stirring the markets, their local experts keep your plan steady. Connecting with Annex is easy. Local branches throughout southeast Wisconsin, northern Illinois. Snowbirds love their Florida location, and Annex Everywhere offers seamless online access. It's Annex Private Client, Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Ignite. With today's trade-driven market volatility, head to annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button. We did that years ago, and kick off the conversation. That's Annex Wealth Management.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sporked called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni frozen pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian. Taste what all the screamin' is about.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake, tee off at the Lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course, or unwind at the award-winning Caladora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen, explore stunning shores and historic landmarks, and enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Traffic and then weather, Debbie Lassica, how are the roads?
It's still kind of brutal out there, very slow all over the place. Southbound 43 backing up from Capitol Drive pretty much all the way down past the KK River. The northbound side slowing down from Lapham all the way up to Keefe. Westbound 94, we do have this accident at 35th Street that is still causing some issues. It's off on the right shoulder, slowing from about 13th Street pretty much all the way through Waukesha County, all the way to Highway 164. So give yourself tons of time. On the eastbound side, that is backing up from 84th Street all the way through to the Marquette. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Here is your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Scattered to light showers. This afternoon still continues, a low of 44. Tomorrow, light showers continue early, then it'll be cloudy, some clearing Late tomorrow afternoon, thank goodness, a high of 54. Then it's partly cloudy Friday, a high of 59. Saturday, cloudy, a high of 59. Sunday, partly cloudy, a high of 60 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it is currently raining and 64 degrees.
Presented by Huracan Bank, it's time for the Milwaukee Economy Briefing, where we dive into the latest trends and insights shaping our city's business landscape. Alongside MMAC President and CEO Dale Koinga, here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
All right, let's bring in the Lieutenant Colonel.
Wow. Dale
Koinga is the President and CEO of the Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce. Dale, thank you for your service. We really do appreciate that.
I enjoy it most days. Not every day, but most days.
Lieutenant Colonel, that is high up the food chain.
It's funny because when I joined 20 years ago, I just thought, oh, man, I signed a 6-year contract. If I could just get the captain, I'll be happy.
Well,
I just want to get through basic training officer candidate school, and then all of a sudden one day you wake up and you're in charge.
So you walked in here, and I said, only a few years in, we'll be talking to a general. And you said full colonel first.
Yeah,
so how does this work?
So the reserves actually have a good amount of generals, and so it's competitive. It's very, very, very competitive. But you go through certain processes. I mean, the next thing I would want to do is brigade command. So I just got done with battalion command. So I got done with battalion command. I had command about 225 soldiers out of Minneapolis, and then now I'm going to the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And that's a couple-year assignment. And I'm starting the Army War College in August. So I'll be studying military strategy. And then if all goes well, I do a brigade command. And a brigade command can be anywhere from 1,000 to 2,500 soldiers.
Whoa, that's a lot.
And then if you do really, really, really well and you're like in the top 5, 10%, then you have a shot at being a general officer. But that would be incredible and hard. But I'm very, very happy I'm where I am. I just loved wearing the uniform. I love leading America's. I go off of America's military, and I'm in the Army, so I'll talk the Army. Is just everything right. I mean, I got a great photo of. I think it was the shortest soldier in the Army was in my unit. She was like 4'11", black woman from Chicago. She was amazing. I got this great picture, and I think she's in a hole and I'm on a hill, and she's saluting me, and it's like we were like just buds. And it's just like if everyone could see just how America works together. I mean, I had immigrants in my unit from around the world. A Ukrainian immigrant, I had immigrants from Africa. Just great, great people. It's everything that's going right in our nation is you could see it in the military.
We've never had a general on the show. How cool would that be?
Yeah.
Oh, I could get you a general on the show if you want.
Oh, yeah.
General Ernie Latinsky is a CEO locally. He's in Franklin, a friend of mine. He was my battalion commander when I was a company commander.
Wow.
And he's a 2-star general right here.
Ooh.
And the other person in Milwaukee who was really high up there is Dirk Debbink. Who
I've met him, the admiral.
Yes, he was a 3-star admiral. He's in charge of all the naval reserves. So we have some stars walking around the area.
Memorial Day, Dale, when you think about this weekend that we go into, what are the thoughts you have about Memorial Day and what it means?
Yeah, well, I see faces. In particular, I remember being deployed to Iraq with my friend Major Dwayne Kelly. He was also another tall guy, and so we'd also talk hoops, and we kind of talk trash talk back and forth. He was a state trooper in New York City and New Jersey, and would go back and forth. And he was on a mission. He was carrying in a really, really hard part of Baghdad called Sadr City. And there was a 13-year-old boy that took a backpack in that meeting. That backpack had a bomb in it. Killed 2 U.S. service members that day. 2 civilians from the U.S. government as well, the State Department. And so I think about him because it's just easier to think about a specific face. So I have what they call a hero bracelet I wear. My friend Craig Dumais and we started a not-for-profit called The Grateful Nation. So it's almost like trading cards. We don't call them that because that's a little disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
It does, but they're cards that highlight the faces of those that have died for our country from our founding till today. It's called The Grateful Nation. Just Google it, check it out. And our mission is to push out to people the stories of these remarkable people that have died for our nation. And any given, card, like they're black, they're white, they're Latino, they're male, they're female, they're tall, they're short, they're from California, they're from Wisconsin. It's just America. So I think about that. It's an important day for me. I always take a moment. We usually have big parties with friends, and I'll usually call everybody. Well, a big party. Like say, hey, everyone, just listen up. I want to talk about this, and I'll say, everyone raise their glasses. And sometimes what we'll do is we'll pour some out. It's like raise your glass and pour some out for Major Dwayne Kelly and pour another one out for everyone else that's not here.
Wow.
Another thing I do is I'll go out when I wear the hero bracelet, and then I wear it from Memorial Day until the day that Major Dwayne Kelly was killed, which is like mid-June. And then it doesn't work out every day, depends on the schedule, but I'll go out to a restaurant and I'll order a beer for myself and a beer for Major Kelly, and then that beer's not touched. You leave that there.
Wow.
So some people probably look like, why did that guy just leave a full beer there? Like, that's for my buddy Major Kelly.
That's strong.
Thank you for sharing that. I love that.
That's a great tribute. That's really, really
That's
cool.
wonderful.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about something not so great, though. Milwaukee Public Schools, they missed another deadline, and we're about to hit our biennial budget that's going to be due very soon this summer. So they missed the deadline by 4 days, and then they have another deadline by the end of this month. And Brenda Cassellius was actually 12 News got a hold of her.
Yeah, listen to this, Dale.
superintendent.
Then we'll ask you to respond. Emily Pofall, reporter at Channel 12.
We know exactly the list of things that have to be done and have to get in. The team is working with urgency and trying to get all of the validation errors. There are some changes between our computer systems and their computer systems.
Okay, so that's the superintendent saying now it's apparently a computer issue, and they're trying to work through
everybody,
it.
So first of all, I don't think Dr. Cassellius deserves any slack at this point. She just walked in the job, and she has so much on her plate. It's unfair to have her. I mean, she just got there, so to beat her up and say, "What's your," and also they are hiring new teams. I know we talked to Dr. Cassellius was in front of our the MMAC board this week. I've had a couple of meetings with her. She's very available and accessible. I know she is putting a huge sense of urgency on this and holding the team accountable and saying, this is the top priority. You are doing this. So this is to be expected. I mean, when they missed the first report, everyone that knows, by the way, I used to audit Milwaukee Public Schools.
Oh.
I used to be an auditor for them 20 years ago. When I was at KPMG, it was one of my clients. So it doesn't get fixed right away. I mean, this is...
But this is affecting our budget for all the other schools.
I'm not saying that this is not a big deal. It's a big deal. I'm saying it's predictable, and the person that should be held accountable, which is a superintendent of the school board, is under circumstances where you've got to give them a little grace, and there needs to be a little grace here, time for them to fix it and do it right. Because the way it works with accounting, I could tell you as a CPA, that you got to do it and you got to do it right. If you're not doing it right, you don't want to report false information. So you're kind of in a
which MPS
no-win situation, right? You're like, okay, let's do it. And previously they put in bad information. So I know they're trying to do it and do it right and do it fast, and there's a balance there. So I think they deserve a little bit of grace on this. And I think everything I hear from Dr. Cassellius is she gets the urgency, and they want to do it and do it right. And if this is still an issue, 60 days from now, I think you raise the volume. But right now, they're working it.
If this was a business, though, what would happen? And they missed it this many times.
Well, so the best comparable, because MPS is bonds, so they have things they need to report to the bond market. In public companies, if a public company just said we're going to miss earnings, like they would eventually, their stock would go down. They would be delisted. There would be criminal charges possibly from the SEC and or civil fines and prosecution. So, if this is a public company, there would be a massive loss in wealth and market cap. There would be civil and criminal actions taken by the SEC.
All right, let's take 1 minute here to ask you about one more thing. Port Washington improving annexation, paving way for a data center development. This is good news.
Well, it's going to be one of the largest data centers in the world. This was our M7 team that's been working on this forever. So MMAC has an economic development team called M7, and I'm very proud of the work we've done there, and great work by Port Washington Mayor Lightsky up there. And our team worked with the Madison legislators, bipartisan support on changing some TIF laws to make this happen. Also got a unanimous vote last night to do some annexation of land required to do it. But we need to be part of this 21st century economy, and this puts us, boom, right there in some massive, massive $1 billion in CapEx. And, these are high-paying six-figure jobs. So Milwaukee is going to be in the game. We're in the game. We got Microsoft to the south. We got this project to our north, and all sorts of companies all around here that are using this type of data center technology for advanced manufacturing and education.
Good stuff. Lieutenant Colonel and the guy in charge of MMAC, Dale Koinga. Thank you for your service, Dale, and thanks for always spending some time with us.
Such a great show. Your show is great.
It
You
is
guys are just all the
4:56.
right.
You should be on every day. 4:56 at WTMJ. The Milwaukee Economy Briefing with Dale is sponsored by Horicon Bank, the natural choice. Visit horiconbank.com.
Tell us a little bit about Innovative Signs.
We're located out in Waukesha. Where we are really focused mostly is manufacturing outdoor electrical signs.
You came to Horicon Bank. How do you think other local businesses can benefit?
When I call, Michelle picks up the phone, and when I email, she responds in a timely manner. A few years ago, I talked to my accountant about shopping around looking for a different bank just to get some alternatives, and he said, absolutely not. You're not going to like working for a big bank. They have a lot more regulations. So that's how we got involved with Cornerstone Bank. When Horicon purchased Cornerstone, we came along for the ride, and it's been great.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Madison-based Forward Biolabs is expanding into Milwaukee, piloting a biohealth startup hub. Forward Biolabs is a nonprofit startup incubator that provides lab and office space to free up capital for startup companies. The Milwaukee area appears to be one of numerous cities nationwide targeted for the launch of an NRG Adventure Park location. The business is growing its indoor playground facilities across the country, featuring trampolines, zip lines, and specialized programs for various ages. Milwaukee-based Goodwill Industries of southeastern Wisconsin and metropolitan Chicago is continuing its expansion in Chicago. The nonprofit is slated to open a center this week on the Windy City's west side. I'm Timothy Gibbons from MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Sponsored by the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
For over 130 years, the Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee has been delighting guests with impeccable service and luxurious accommodations. Celebrate your next special occasion with a stay at this newly renovated Milwaukee icon. Enjoy fine dining at acclaimed restaurants and pamper yourself with a service from the Well Spa and Salon. Experience the hotel's afternoon tea program or take in live music with the best views of the city from Blue, the 23rd floor cocktail lounge. There's always a reason to celebrate with the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today at thepfisterhotel.com.
For those with a warm weather fashion passion, try St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, because that's where you'll find a vast array of men's, women's, girls, and boys' warm weather apparel at the friendliest prices. So many choices, and at such a value. You can fill the closet without draining your wallet. Shop warm weather fashions at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
John Mercure here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. There's no better time to upgrade your windows and doors than right now, because you get up to 6 years of 0% financing at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. That's right, no interest for up to 72 months. You take 72 months, 6 years to pay it off. You're not paying interest on any of that if you get it paid off. That's pretty cool. And you get the whole Pella experience from beginning to end. That's right, in-home consultation. They did that with us. You sit down at the kitchen table or right there on your sofa. They bring samples. They measure. They talk you through the options. Even at this point, you're not committed to anything with Pella, just having your vision listened to. They present the different colors, sizes, all the customizations needed to make your vision a reality, and they're with you. They make it easy. It is not stressful. Pella's design team can help you narrow down all the options, and you create that dream upgrade. They're getting ready to put a sliding patio door into my place. I'm so excited. 0% financing for up to 6 years. Certain restrictions apply. Deal ends the end of the month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Hey, it's Vince Vitrano from Wisconsin's Morning News. It's baseball season, which means Brewers 360 is back every day at 8:40. Sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Every day, all season long, we're joined exclusively by Brewers guests, including manager Pat Murphy and more. So Murphy, as we're wrapping up our interview.
Great talking to you. Really enjoyed it. Okay.
I was like, you did? Is he just in a good mood, or what'd y'all do to Murph?
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Big Fish Contracting.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlands.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you.
Richlands.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Traffic is sponsored by Flanders Home Entertainment. Flanders.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanners Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanners, just press play.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
I'm John Mercure. Your top story: charges for the shooting death of an 11-year-old.
I'm Julia Fellow. Another deportation violates a judge's order.
I'm Debbie Loziga. A crash on the ramp from Moreland Road to 94 eastbound. Going to be affecting your ride through there, so please be careful with that. We've also got delays, pretty hefty ones, on 41 southbound from Good Hope Road, solid all the way past Capitol. Northbound is solid up from Watertown Plank Road all the way up to Silver Spring. Westbound on 94, we've got delays as well from the 13th Street area past an accident scene at 35th. That is off on the right shoulder. Those delays continue all the way through the Zoo interchange to that basically past Calhoun. And then on the eastbound side, we got backups from 84th Street all the way through to 27th. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, scattered showers, a low of 44. Tomorrow, a rain early in the day, a high of 54. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a Racine teenager is charged in the shooting death of his younger brother. 16-year-old Pedro Sauceda faces first-degree reckless homicide with use of a dangerous weapon. His 11-year-old brother, Jesus Valadares, died of a gunshot wound on Friday. The teen told investigators he was playing with the gun when his brother tried to take it away because he knew Sauceda wasn't supposed to have it. He's in custody on $150,000 cash bond.
A massive manhunt continues in connection with last week's daring jailbreak in New Orleans. 5 out of 10 inmates who escaped are still on the run, and a jail worker is under arrest. Today, officials announced 2 more people have been taken into custody for assisting the fugitives. That's what they're accused of. Katie Weiss has the latest.
The mass escape is shedding light on vulnerabilities at the jail, including critical infrastructure issues.
This facility was never designed to be a maximum security jail. It was built for short-term detention. Unfortunately, time and deferred investment have caught up with us all.
The sheriff who oversees the facility has suspended her re-election campaign in the wake of the jailbreak. Katie Weiss, CBS News, New Orleans.
Officials say at least one of the jail's security cameras was not working the morning of the escape. Guards also skipped required security checks.
Fight to free Milwaukee Public Schools of lead continues. School District member President Missy Zombar details how they'll handle lead in schools moving forward.
It would require that lead surveillance documentation be added to annual school audits, and then the reporting tool on the website so that families, staff, students know that there's a place to go that they can report any concerns. So we're working towards increasing the number of students screened for lead, and then also just ongoing family and student education regarding lead hazards.
3 MPS schools are still closed for lead remediation.
Coming up, if you snooze, you really do lose.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:04.
Get the help you need from How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Dimension Design Build Remodel and CertaPro Painters. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. Get at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
As we walk through life, we can embrace our stories, even the painful parts, as sacred opportunities to point others to Jesus. Our difficulties, be they physical, emotional, or spiritual, they often become the backdrop against which God reveals his faithfulness. Each challenge is an opportunity for his power to be displayed.
Guest speaker, Pastor Greg Manning, this week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Highlight your long weekend when the Brewers kick off a 3-game series against the Red Sox on Memorial Day, featuring the best way to start summer, Dollar Hot Dog Day. Keep the summer vibes going into the week as kids and seniors can get 50% off select tickets at the game on Wednesday, May 28th. What's better than a long weekend? Brewers baseball and Dollar Hot Dogs. Find your seats today at brewers.com.
Let's not wait till it's 85 degrees to find out the air conditioner didn't make it through the winter. Vince Vitrano here for Urban Heating and Cooling. Ready to start a relationship with you before you need them in an emergency. I've got Ryan coming out to the house this month for an AC tune-up. He and his wife Ellie run the business out of Franklin, serving all of southeast Wisconsin. I trust them in our family home because they know they're serving their friends and neighbors. Got a big project? Financing is available. Tell them Vinny sent you to Urban Heating and Cooling, urbanheatingandcooling.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:06.
You snooze, you'll lose. Researchers say there's actually some truth to that old saying, as we hear from ABC's Jim Ryan.
A study conducted by Mass General Brigham finds that more than half of the world hits the snooze button rather than getting up with the first alarm. If you snooze, says lead researcher Dr. Rebecca Robbins, you lose restorative sleep.
Any sleep that you get in between the first alarm and that snooze alarm is going to be low quality and probably fragmented sleep.
Her advice, get to bed earlier and set your initial alarm for as late a time as possible to get as much quality sleep as you can. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers snap a 3-game winning streak. They ended after losing to the Orioles Game 3 today, 8-4 in extras. The Brewer heads to Pittsburgh Thursday for a 4-game series with the Pirates.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:07.
Okay, adventurers, listen up. Fox World Travel just dropped some seriously incredible Fox Group vacation destinations for 2026. Set sail on a yacht through the Croatian coastline, join a thrilling African safari, or immerse yourself in the mecca of all flower shows in London. And for the first time, we're introducing a woman's-only tour, partnering with Insight Vacations, Globus, and African Travel. But these are just a few of the exclusive offerings. But don't wait. They're filling up fast. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO to reserve your spot today.
John Mercure here for Loyal Family Renovations. We had that really heavy weather that went through about 10 days ago. Remember, there were some tornadoes that were spawned. There was lots of hail. It might have damaged your roof. If you're not sure, have Loyal Family Renovations come out and check it out for you. They'll assess your home. They'll help you work with insurance. They'll point out things that you never saw. That's what happened when they did my roof. I was actually surprised at all the things that they noticed. At Loyal Family Renovations, your family's home is their top priority. They worked at our house just 2 days, 12 hours each day, got it done, knocked it out. It looks fantastic. It's Loyal Family Renovations. Check them out today.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John Mercure and Julia Fellow.
All right. Hope your soggy Wednesday's going okay. Been a yucky couple of days.
It doesn't end, John.
I know. It sure doesn't seem to. Hopefully tomorrow we get a little bit of a break. Hey, it's Hero Week. On Steve Scafidi Salute to Service, presented by Waterstone Bank, WTMJ's Point Taken is honoring 6 different public service employees who went above and beyond for their communities. Today's honoree is Norway Fire Department Chaplain Mark Harmario, who redefined what it meant to be a pastor in the firehouse.
Hi, I'm Christy Jaramillo. I'm nominating my husband, Mark Jaramillo, for the Salute to Service.
Hi, I'm Mark Jaramillo. I am the chaplain with the Norway Fire Department.
I think he's one of the most giving people I've ever known in my life.
I've actually been a pastor coming up on 30 years, and very proud that 27 of those years have actually been with my wife as colleagues. And this absolutely shapes everything that I am, do, and how I even relate to this world.
He is always going. He's always trying to find the next way, the better way to help people. And once he connected with the firefighter community out here, he just knew that he had to connect in the full capacity.
If I'm going to be a pastor, if I'm going to be anybody, I have to be authentic. And because of that, I've always looked at what can I do to make a difference. 2011, I was approached by the chief of Norway Fire Department, and he looked at me and said, "Do you want to be a chaplain?" I looked at him and I went, "Well, what the heck does that mean?" He goes, "I don't know, but we'll figure it out together." And at that point, I had a pretty amazing experience just getting to be part of the department, but I quickly learned that for first responders, if you really truly want to be a part of their world, and if you want them to be able to trust you, you have to be one of them.
So he did all the training.
I ended up getting my certification as a firefighter, and then shortly after that, I became an EMT. And that was probably the best gift I could give to myself. Not only did I learn new skills, but it allowed me to really walk with people, particularly our first responders and all the stuff they have to deal with.
It's been a little crazy around here to juggle everything.
I work with not only Norway Fire Department, but I have Waterford, Michigan, Burlington, and all of those departments, as well as the sheriffs and police departments, have consistently sent me people to help, or people to talk to, or people who just want to have a person to reflect with.
The things he can do in a conversation now, he can help people tell their stories in a way that can help them get through it, whatever it is.
It's enhanced everything. And I can say that because my job as a pastor is to bring a real experience of life, but I have to bring it in a very real context, a real way, in a real world with very real eyes. I don't wear rosy-colored glasses. As a leader, I have to live the life that I keep asking them to live, which is a life that's fruitful, productive, as well as loving. It doesn't surprise me when maybe 2 or 3 months after I've helped them dealing with a stroke or some kind of crisis, they show up at my church and they're like, I know you.
What does salute to service mean to you?
I'm humbled. Brother, I'm a grunt. Whenever I heard from my wife that this was an honor given to me, I'm like, come on. I see our sheriffs, our police, our dispatchers, our hospital employees. I see what they go through, and I can tell you, these are amazing people. The medics, the EMTs, all of them. Their love and commitment to this community transcends any kind of award that I could see. So for me to get this, good Lord, I don't know. I can't believe I got it. I'll stop there.
That's so nice. That was today's honoree, Norway Fire Department Chaplain Mark Jaramillo on Steve Scaffidi's Salute to Service, presented by Waterstone Bank. If you want to hear more or past features of these heroes, text the word salute to 855-616-1620. Salute to Service. Another hero. We'll honor another hero tomorrow. It is 5:13 at WTMJ. All right, let's line up the calls and texts right now. Did you watch the Favre documentary?
Yes.
Me too. What did you think? What are your key takeaways from the Brett Favre documentary on Netflix? You know, Jen Sturger, the one who he allegedly sent the naughty picture to and was pursuing and wanted to hook up with.
Those wild voice messages.
Crazy. The welfare scandal. The Netflix documentary debuted last night. We have some thoughts. What are your thoughts? Has it changed the way you think about Brett Favre? Has the doc changed how you feel about Brett Favre? 855-616-1620. Would love to chat with you. Give us a call. Send us a text. 855-616-1620. What do you think of Brett Favre?
Here's to time out on the water in Wisconsin. To living your best life while enjoying the lake life. Ready? And getting up on a wakeboard the very first try. Or not. Here's to wearing only swimsuits and wishing this perfect day would never end. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Start your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Griffin Ford in Waukesha. I love Griffin Ford in Waukesha. They've got incredible selection. They've got a great service department. Bought our Ford Explorer there. It is really top tier. And right now, the F-Series, America's best-selling truck, they have about 50 of them on the lot, like the F-150, the F-250, all of that great stuff. As a matter of fact, they've got 160 new vehicles ready to be driven home. It doesn't matter if you're looking for that Ford F-150 or the Ford Expedition, maybe a Ford Mustang. You'd look great in that. Griffin Ford has the vehicle for you right there in Waukesha. They have an outstanding selection of retired service loaner vehicles at Griffin Ford, ready to find their permanent home, buy a new car for a used car price. It is Griffin Ford in Waukesha. Right now, for just $1 over cost, you get brand new tires, free tire repair, and lifetime tire rotation. Cannot be combined with any other tire offers. Tires must be mounted, balanced, and installed at Griffin Ford. See Service Advisor for details. It's Griffin Ford in Waukesha.
Kick off your summer right with big seasonal savings at Fleet Farm. Kingsford 16-pound 2-packs of charcoal briquettes are just $17.99. Suffolk's braided fishing line is only $7.99 a spool. And get a free $25 gift card with every $100 you spend on select Columbia apparel and footwear. For more of the hottest summer specials at the best prices guaranteed, stop by your local Fleet Farm or check out our weekly ad at fleetfarm.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Tehan Greenhouse in Oak Creek by Direct and Local for all your garden plants.
Come quick to Tehan Greenhouses in Oak Creek for the best selection on blooming hanging baskets, deck planters, annuals, perennials, and vegetable plants. Tehan Greenhouses in Oak Creek by Direct.
Traffic and weather. Debbie Loziga, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, John. It's a slow ride out there. And remember, if you got your wipers on, turn on your headlights. It's going to help everybody out. Southbound 41 slowing down from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound from Watertown Plank Road up towards Silver Spring. Westbound 94 is improving just a little bit. We're still seeing delays, though, from 27th Street to Hawley Road and then again from 84th Street pretty much all the way to Calhoun. And more delays then past Springdale Road out to Highway 164. So that's something to keep in mind. On the eastbound side, slowing from 84th Street to 35th. Southbound on 894, backed up from the zoo all the way down and around the Hale interchange past Forest Home. On the westbound side, backing up out of the Mitchell interchange pretty much all the way to 92nd Street. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Scattered light showers still tonight, a low of 44 degrees. Another chilly night. Tomorrow, light rain early in the day. It does clear out by afternoon, a high of 54. On Friday, partly cloudy, a high of 60. On Saturday, partly cloudy, a high of 63. On Sunday, partly cloudy, a high of 64 degrees. Right now, it's 46 and rainy. So last night was the debut of the Brett Favre documentary on Netflix called Untold: The Fall of Favre. And they spent about 15 minutes talking about what a great football player he was.
Yeah.
And then they spent about 45 minutes talking about how terrible a person they believe he is.
And just, well, there's a lot of interviews, but mainly this one chick.
Jen Sturger, she's the one who says that Favre pursued her, says that Favre sent her the naughty picture of his privates. She's the one who says her career was destroyed because after people found out that he was pursuing her, the Jets fired her. Yeah, she was all over it.
Well, all of her messages were leaked. From who? Her?
So she says that she shared the messages with a guy at Deadspin who she trusted. And then he took all of that and wrote a story about it. And that's how the whole story got broke. So she shared them with him, right? I mean, she's the one who gave them up. He never said it was off the record.
A photo.
And then he published it. You want to get a taste of what this is like? I'm going to play the trailer for you, but I want you to weigh in. What do you think of Brett Favre now? What do you think of Brett Favre? Has it changed your opinion? Has it not changed your opinion? 855-616-1620. Be part of the conversation. What do you think of Brett Favre now after the documentary? Here's a flavor of what the documentary is all about.
Everybody wish they could be an NFL quarterback. You get all the notoriety, you get paid all the money.
Brett Favre was a cult-like, iconic figure.
People say he was a football god.
There are a lot of reasons why you might question Brett Favre's inner goodness.
Allegations that he sent lewd texts and photos to a New York Jet employee.
Brett Favre ultimately destroyed my life.
In the life of Brett Favre, not everything is what it seems.
He starts to go through life thinking, I can do whatever I want. At what level does that stop?
I was at a game, and someone said Brett Favre wanted my phone number, and I just kept saying no. I started getting text messages, and then I started getting voicemails when I was like, oh, I'm in serious trouble here.
How'd you come up with that? Maybe we shouldn't be surprised that he got caught up in a federal welfare misappropriation scandal.
You take money intended for the poorest. I don't know how he sleeps at night.
People don't want most of that stuff to come out. People want their heroes.
When someone shows you who they are, believe them.
That voice you hear most frequently in there is Jen Sturger, and she is at the center of this whole Netflix documentary. That was the big get for the people who were making the documentary and wanted to really tear Favre a new one. It was Jen Sturger. Be part of the conversation at 855-616-1620. Call or text. Has your opinion of Brett Favre changed? What is his legacy? This is a text. Brett Favre's legacy is now officially tarnished following the welfare scandal.
Yep, that was part of the story.
A big part. That part bothered me the most, too. I don't like the part with Jen Sturger. I think he's a pig, if it's true. He's a married man. But the welfare part really bothered me.
How about when that one Green Bay broadcaster was assigned to do a nice story on Brett Favre being a family man, and he said, "Yeah, I don't do fiction."
That was a great line, wasn't it?
That was harsh.
From the 414, I watched it. It was Jen's doc. No feelings changed. I knew all this about him already. So I worked in Green Bay at the height of Favre mania. I worked in Green Bay. I was there during the time when he went to the Super Bowl twice.
That's
incredible. I was there when he came out and said he was addicted to drugs. It was the biggest story, not only in Green Bay, but in sports in the nation when the Packers went back to the Super Bowl. And then again, it was the biggest story when he announced he was hooked on Vicodin. Then again, it was the biggest story in sports when he said, I'm going to retire. No, I'm not. I'm going to retire. No, I'm not.
They highlighted the retiring part a lot, yeah.
Those of us that worked up there always knew that he probably wasn't the greatest guy. I always knew that I would never let Brett Favre be alone with my daughters.
Oh.
Because of his reputation, because he's not the greatest guy. But the documentary flushes out different sides of this.
Okay, I kind of agree with this 414 that they read his wife's book, Brett Favre, and she was going through cancer when the whole cheating scandal happened, and that's unforgivable. That is really low. That was low. And then the girl, Jen Sturger, said, I look like his wife.
She does. Did you look at her? She looks just like Deanna Favre looked. If you want to know what Jen Sturger's going to look like in 20 years, look at Deanna Favre right now.
I didn't even see her face because I kept on, she had all these boob tops on.
I didn't notice that.
Out of control.
Yeah, well, that's how she became famous, right? As that girl at the Florida State football games that got recognized on camera, and then Brett Musburger, the legendary broadcaster, called her out in the middle of a national broadcast about how boys were probably fawning over her, and that's how she got discovered. Let's take a phone call.
Okay.
Brad's in Shorewood. Good afternoon, Brad. You're on WTMJ. What do you think?
Good afternoon. Yeah, I'm just curious. Why wasn't he charged with any kind of crime if he performed this welfare fraud?
Well, it's still being investigated. About 8 people have been charged. There's still the possibility that he will be charged. He's charged civilly. He could still be charged criminally. You know, it's a high standard. And they don't believe, either they don't believe they have enough to convict him, or he's Brett Favre in Mississippi, and so they don't dare go after him. I wouldn't be surprised still if he ends up being charged. Grand jury is still being seated in that case from what I've read.
Oh, okay.
What did you think of the documentary?
I thought it was just, I mean, if it's true, if he did all that, yeah, that's horrible. As a husband, yeah, falls way short. But yeah, I mean, I think you really have to separate these people from what they do on the field and off the field. Otherwise, you're bound to be disappointed.
Yeah, exactly. You're a big fan?
Oh, it's huge, yeah. You know,
if you were at Lambeau
Field, when he came back from Minnesota.
If you were at Lambeau Field and he was being honored and it was halftime, and he comes out onto the field, are you giving him a standing ovation, a tepid little applause, or are you sitting on your hands?
I'm going to get another drink, another beer.
That's a really good answer. Hey, Brad, thank you very much for the phone call. It is 5:24 at WTMJ. Keep sending the texts, and we will try to get through some of those. Bad day on the markets. Everything in the red. Pretty big time, too. The Dow was off 817 points on the day. That's almost 2%. The NASDAQ was down 270. That is 1.5%. The S&P 500 dropped 95 points on the day. Wow, that is 1.6%. Annex Wealth Management is financial planning at every level. Know the difference with Annex.
There's only one store that gives you every possible choice in diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
The Beach Boys, the Sounds of Summer Tour. Friday, May 23rd at the Riverside Theater. The music, the memories, the Beach Boys, riding an endless summer wave. Get tickets now at PabstTheaterGroup.com. Don't miss the Beach Boys, the Sounds of Summer Tour, live
Vita Hearing Care, they are the best in the business. I know. I have their hearing aids. I've been through the exams. I love their office staff. Jeff and Cynthia, the owners at Vita Hearing Care, are absolutely incredible. They're nurturing. They work with older clients. They work with children. They work with everybody in between. Make sure your hearing is taken care of. It's literally better for your health. 2 locations for Vita in Mount Pleasant and in Waterford. Check out the website. Start there, VitaHearingCare.com. VitaHearingCare.com. Life is sweeter with Vita.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, a weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market, how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. Sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. Joining us today, Jeff Salasinski, Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, let's talk about what's coming down the road. What issues you're paying attention to these days?
Sure, Vince. Thank you. Great to be here today. While results were generally good for insurance companies last year, you've heard me talk about increasing costs in auto insurance, general liability insurance, and umbrella insurance.
Yeah, why is that? What do you think's going on there?
Legal system abuse is becoming more prominent here in the Midwest, and this is driving increased litigation and increased legal costs that come with more litigation.
Legal system abuse, what's that look like?
We see 2 factors driving much of this concern, Vince. Number 1, incredible frequency and messaging of attorney advertising, promoting large verdicts, making these huge numbers seem more common than they actually are. And secondly, third-party litigation funding, which is outside capital, a private lender providing funds to plaintiffs and their law firms to pursue lawsuits. These third parties have no role in the actual case itself. They were not injured, they have money, and they're funding the litigation as an investment.
So, Jeff, why should a business or family work with R&R Insurance?
At R&R Insurance, we understand complex, dynamic issues like third-party litigation funding and how these issues impact businesses and families. We understand how to best protect your company assets or your personal assets, and R&R has been on top of issues like this on behalf of our clients for almost 50 years. If you're looking for a better insurance purchasing experience, we'd love to sit down and speak with you. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Welcome to our Everyday Health feature, sponsored by the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Across the nation, more than 104,000 people are waiting for organs that will save their lives, with more than 90,000 of them waiting for a kidney. Living Kidney Donation works to close the gap between the need and availability of donor kidneys. Here to tell us more about Living Kidney Donation is Leanne Mixon, Vice President of Transplant Services at the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, and a living kidney donor herself. Leanne, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start with having you tell us about the need for kidney donors and how Living Donation can help.
More than 90,000 people are waiting for kidneys across the country, including more than 1,100 here in Wisconsin. The wait for a deceased donor kidney transplant can be several years. People on the wait list have an increased mortality risk as well as a higher risk of complications due to their primary disease and dialysis. Living Donation helps increase the pool of organs, leading to less wait time, more organs that can be transplanted, and often boosts outcomes for recipients.
As someone who donated a kidney, what would you say to others who may consider being a donor?
I would encourage them to do it. Before I donated, I talked with several donors who said that they would donate a kidney again in a heartbeat. Now, having been through the experience myself, I can wholeheartedly say the same. Seeing firsthand the life-changing impact that donation has for so many, I absolutely made the right decision. And if at any time during the process a donor decides that they don't want to move forward, they can stop the process, no questions asked.
Did you feel like your health was a priority to the care team?
I absolutely did.
Was it a difficult process?
It was a pretty easy process. A fair amount of testing just to make sure that I was healthy enough to donate.
Why should someone choose the Freighter to the Medical College of Wisconsin Living Kidney Donor Program?
Our team of experts provide exceptional care for live donors from the earliest point in the evaluation through hospitalization and follow-up care. A dedicated transplant coordinator works with the donors through every step related to donation and stays close to them following donation to support their recovery. And all along the way, the donor's health is the care team's priority.
Leanne, great information. Thanks for being with us today. For more information on Living Donation, visit freightert.com/transplant, or you can call 414-777-7700.
This report sponsored by Exterior Pros and Baths. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation. Want to save big on your next home improvement project? Visit extpros.com today for expert services at unbeatable prices.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, Big and Beautiful, is on schedule.
I'm Julia Fellow with the latest public opinion on the president.
I'm Debbie Loziga, northbound on the Rock Freeway. We've got a crash off on the right shoulder just past Highway 100, almost into the Hale interchange, so just be careful with that. It's going to be slow and wet everywhere. Please be extra careful. Make sure you have your headlights on. Westbound 894, solid out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to 92nd. We've got southbound 894 backed up from the zoo all the way around the Hale to Forest Home. And then southbound on 43, we got heavy ride from just south of Capitol Drive all the way down to the KK River. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, cloudy and light rain, a low of 44 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, a stray sprinkle, a high of 58. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Trump's big, beautiful budget bill is on schedule, according to Speaker Mike Johnson. The top House Republican believes it will get to the floor for a vote before Memorial Day. ABC Capitol Hill correspondent Jay O'Brien.
President Trump has made it clear he wants this legislation passed quickly. He wants minimal last-minute tweaks to this bill to get it over the goal line. And Speaker Johnson has been even more clear that he wants this bill on the floor potentially as soon as tonight. But if it were to go to the floor right now, those hardliners still haven't given it their support.
The bill aims to increase military and immigration enforcement spending, paying for that cut by cutting Medicaid, food assistance, and more.
The president's big, beautiful budget bill is on schedule, according to the House Speaker, Mike Johnson. The top House Republican believes it will get to the floor for a vote before Memorial Day, as he promised. Capitol Hill reporter Jay O'Brien with ABC News.
President Trump has made it clear he wants this legislation passed quickly. He wants minimal last-minute tweaks to this bill to get it over the goal line. And Speaker Johnson has been even more clear that he wants this bill on the floor potentially as soon as tonight. But if it were to go to the floor right now, those hardliners still haven't given it their support.
Disapproval overall on President Trump for his early actions in his second term.
The latest Marquette Law School poll shows nationally that a majority of people think the country is on the wrong track, mostly disapproving of the tariffs, continued inflation, spending cuts, and foreign policy, especially of the Russia-Ukraine war. Voters approved of the president's border security policies, his handling of immigration, and are in favor of the tax cuts. They also say that landing on Mars should not be a priority. Sean Brenda, WTMJ News.
Israel ramps up its attacks in Gaza as it continues its 11-week blockade on aid. ABC's Patrick Avell.
Nearly 500 Palestinians have already been killed in the new offensive, according to the Gaza Health Ministry. The UK, France and Canada have already demanded that Israel halt its offensive in the strongest terms yet. Now, Israel 2 days ago said it will allow a basic amount of food into Gaza. And yesterday said 93 trucks were let in, but it's not clear if they have reached people. And aid agencies have previously said it's nowhere near enough, amid warnings that hundreds of thousands are facing starvation.
Israeli troops have just been accused of firing near a delegation of international diplomats while they were visiting an area in the West Bank.
In Oak Creek,
York moves to adopt a resolution approving a conditional use permit for a fueling plaza. Motion carries.
Members of the Oak Creek Common Council approving 3 resolutions for the construction of the Buc-ee's fueling station. Oak Creek Neighbors United says the city is still pushing for leaders to take more time to look over the project.
In Madison,
City Hall is actually listening. When you write us or call us or email us with a good idea, we will do what we can to put that into practice.
Madison's Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway talking about a new art on 2 of the city's garbage trucks. The idea was inspired by a 3-year-old resident named Fred who wanted to see a different color on the garbage trucks. The East Madison garbage truck now features a mural of the Madison skyline, while the West Madison garbage truck features a turkey. You can see both the trucks on our website, WTMJ.com.
Say goodbye to overdue fines for library books. The Greenfield Public Library is eliminating overdue fines on most materials starting June 1st. The library board says that by getting rid of the fines, they hope more people will use the library's resources. The overdue fines previously accounted for just 0.06% of its annual budget. Library patrons are still encouraged to return their materials on time.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers' 3-game winning streak came to an end, unfortunately, in the 11th inning against the Orioles. In Game 3, they lost 8-4 in extra innings. Brew Crew heads to Pittsburgh tomorrow for a 4-game series with the Pirates.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:35.
Get 0% financing for up to 6 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When having new Pella windows and doors installed at your home, you get the full Pella experience. That means we're with you from start to finish. Our team doesn't disappear after the work is done. Just like with Vinny, your Pella experience starts with a free in-home consultation.
This is a really comfortable kitchen table chat.
We knew Pella was going to get it right the first time, and they designed a project with us. They didn't just replace our windows and doors.
With customizations driving limitless possibilities, our Pella experts truly listen to your vision, just as we did with Nicole.
I felt like they really listened to us. There are so many options that are available, so it was nice to have someone narrow those down, offer some suggestions, and they made sure that the design was what we wanted.
Don't wait any longer, because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 5/31/2025. Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
All right, chief meteorologist Brian Nisnansky is with us on another very soggy day. Niz, yuck, 2 days in a row.
Outside of severe weather, this is about as bad as it gets for May, in my opinion. I mean, I can't think of, low 40s and nonstop rain for 2 days in the end of May, leading into Memorial Day weekend. It quite frankly does not get worse.
It's brutal. I got people coming and working in my yard tomorrow. It looks like it's going to maybe kind of be okay, but it's not going to be great tomorrow either, is it?
Could be squashing. I mean,
yes,
I don't know what kind of work you got going, but it
in my
could be a
beds,
swamp out there.
so they won't be in the yard that much. But even the beds, you're right. The mulch is like, ugh, it's gross.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting a lot of reports over 2 inches of rain the last couple of days.
Whoa.
Even a few spots over 3 inches.
Whoa.
This has fallen over a long enough period of time that we're not like dealing with flash flooding or anything. But I know the farmer fields are probably getting a little too soggy now. But on the flip side, technically parts of southeastern Wisconsin still under a moderate drought. So I think that probably erases it. When we get the new drought monitor out tomorrow, it might reflect that. So I guess there's the positive.
Which areas got the most rain, Niz? Run through the list of the couple of places where it was particularly bad during this stretch.
Yeah, so I got Kewaskum at 3.5 inches of rain. I got a report out of West Bend, 2.8 inches. Sheboygan, nearly 2 inches of rain. You got Hales Corners, 1.36. Brookfield, where did I see? Menominee Falls, over 2 inches of rain.
That's good, John.
Here at TMJ4, we got 2.02 inches of rain. I got a Waukesha report at 2.2. So, yeah, there's a lot of 2 to 3 inch totals, guys.
Boy, there's a lot of severe weather, too, it seems like. South of us, Niz, it looks like now I saw something about a nor'easter with maybe snow in New England. What is going on?
It's been active. And you know what? A lot of these systems have been cut off from the jet stream. And we've been talking about that probably about a month now. We've had this pattern where the jet is split. You got the storm systems that develop at the surface not quite attaching themselves to like the upper level steering currents. So what you get is these storms that are very slow moving, and they kind of back up on each other, and they basically create just this, active pattern, and we haven't been able to kick it. So it looks like by the weekend, high pressure moves in, but it's a Canadian high pressure. The center of high pressure comes in from Canada, so that reinforces cooler air. But at least the sun will be shining, which should help temperatures bump into the 50s at least, and maybe some 60s inland by this weekend.
All right, Niz, so we're out of here early tomorrow and Friday for Brewers baseball. Show's done at 5.
Okay.
So what do your plans look like for the weekend? What are you and the family going to do?
Yeah, Memorial Day weekend. So we have Saturday. I'm actually entertaining some of my neighbors on our boat.
Oh, great.
Down in Port Washington, so it'll be chilly, but we have like the isinglass enclosure, so we'll just kind of we'll wear our sweaters around our shoulders, and we'll look like true,
like you belong in Cape Cod.
Exactly. Yeah. No, hardly. And then Sunday, I'll have my parents. We'll have our parents over and hang out there, and that'll pretty much tie it all in. I'm sure some neighborhood fun as well.
So nice.
How about you guys?
What am I doing?
I'm doing the Saturday and Sunday are pretty quiet, and then on Monday I MC the big Memorial Day thing at Wood National Cemetery, so that'll be good. What are you doing, Julia?
Oh, I'm going to the Stitch movie with my niece.
Oh, that's
on
fun.
Friday. She wants to go so bad, and Brian met my niece.
I did, yeah, and I have a daughter who's loves Stitch as well. I think we've talked about this before. Stitch became like that, like kind of cool, like little bit older kid Disney cartoon.
What is that? I know it's a weird alien-looking thing too.
Yeah,
Hannah loves it.
I don't know what it is. It's kind of like I don't know. They like the rudeness of the character. Like it's kind of a rude little doll,
sassy.
You know,
Yeah,
sassy. Yeah. So, no,
all right,
that sounds
Niz,
fun.
So set us up. What are we looking at then tonight in the next 5 days or so?
Yeah, so still rain tonight. We might get another quarter-inch of rain. It kind of wraps up by early tomorrow morning. A couple sprinkles tomorrow. Still some clouds. Maybe some peaks of sun tomorrow. 54 for the high on Thursday. Inland 58. So an improvement there, even though that seems quite cold. Friday, partly cloudy. 55 lakeside. Inland 60. Saturday, mostly sunny. 57 lakeside. 63 inland. And then Sunday, partly cloudy and a high of 58. Inland 65. I'll give you Memorial Day too. Partly cloudy. 58 on Monday and a high of 65. So not bad, but it's certainly, you know, there's a lot of people who are looking to get some true summer weather for Memorial Day, and it just doesn't look that way.
All right, Niz, we won't talk to you before the weekend, so have a really great weekend.
Yes, happy Memorial Day, and take care, everybody.
You too, Niz. It is 5:42 at WTMJ.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Why is everyone coming on their riding mowers and UTVs?
I figured all the neighbors could use a break from yard work, so I invited them for
a ride-on lawnmower movie?
Or, as I like to say, a movie.
We've got the value you need to do things your way, like 15% off Raider Power Sport helmets and accessories. And Centric brakes or Moog & Monroe steering and suspension parts, also 15% off. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
So last Friday, Michelle made a cocktail called the Stormy Weather. It had blue curacao in it. It had rum in it. I think it had pineapple juice, grenadine. All the ingredients came from Otto's. Got them all at Otto's. They sell all the alcohol, all the mixers, all the garnish. It's Otto's Wine and Spirits. They've been serving all that stuff since 1945. Employee-owned, super-friendly staff. They're invested because they're part of the store. They're Wisconsin strong at Otto's. They'll beat any advertised price. They have the best selection. They have the best value. It is Otto's.
Highlight your long weekend when the Brewers kick off a 3-game series against the Red Sox on Memorial Day, featuring the best way to start summer, Dollar Hot Dog Day. Keep the summer vibes going into the week as kids and seniors can get 50% off select tickets at the game on Wednesday, May 28th. What's better than a long weekend? Brewers baseball and dollar hot dogs. Find your seats today at brewers.com.
My overall experience with Gruber Law Offices has been phenomenal.
The treatment was excellent.
They will be supportive of you. They will listen to you.
It was a great experience knowing that I had people to help me.
I know I could count on them to do what I needed to get done.
Experience with Gruber was great.
They gave me my life back.
It was amazing.
He gets results.
We know how to win. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices had my best interests at heart.
Why settle for just a job when you could have a career in the exciting automobile industry? The Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee new car dealer members have service, technician, sales, administrative, and management positions available now. The first word in career is car, and one of the best places to find a great career opportunity is at an Adam new car dealer.
For current great paying job opportunities, visit adam.jobs. That's ADAMM.jobs.
If you missed this,
Can you talk about how often officers are ending up at schools and how difficult those situations are?
3,100 calls a school year. It was about 17 calls a day.
Or this.
Handpicking the press pool. What are your thoughts on that?
I have many, as you might imagine. I've been in the press pool covering the White House, the greatest privilege of my repertorial life.
Catch up on the Wisconsin's Afternoon News podcast at WTMJ.com, presented by Dave Drakamp Heating. Traffic is sponsored by Flanders Home Entertainment, Flanders.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanners Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanners, just press play.
Men's wedding bands made from whiskey barrels and meteorites.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Let's get you where you need to safely with Debbie Lassiga.
All right, well, we do still have a slow ride out there for sure. Southbound 43 from Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette down to the KK River crossing. Northbound's backed up out of the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. Southbound 41 heavy from Appleton Avenue down almost to Burleigh. The northbound side, Watertown Plank Road up to about Silver Spring. We've also got a crash on 41 northbound right at Mayfair Road off on the right shoulder to add to your delays. Eastbound 94 backing up from 84th Street all the way to 27th. Westbound 25th to Hawley Road, and then again from the Zoo all the way to Calhoun. And then a bypass heavy from Greenfield Avenue all the way down and around the Hale interchange to about Forest Home. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Presented by Horicon Bank. It's time for the Milwaukee Economy Briefing, where we dive into the latest trends and insights shaping our city's business landscape. Alongside MMAC President and CEO Dale Koinga, here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
All right, let's bring in the Lieutenant Colonel.
Wow.
Dale Koinga is the President and CEO of the Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce. Dale, thank you for your service. We really do appreciate that.
I enjoy it most days. Not every day, but most days.
Lieutenant Colonel, that is high up the food chain.
It's funny because when I joined 20 years ago, I just thought, oh man, I signed a 6-year contract. If I could just get the captain, I'll be happy.
Well,
I just want to get
that.
through basic training officer candidate school, and then all of a sudden one day you wake up and you're in charge.
So you walked in here and I said, only a few years and we'll be talking to a general. And you said full colonel first.
Yeah,
so how does this work?
So the reserves actually have a good amount of generals, and so I mean it's competitive. It's very, very, very competitive. But you go through certain processes. I mean, the next thing I would want to do is brigade command. So I just got done with battalion command. So I got done with battalion command. I had command about 225 soldiers out of Minneapolis, and then now I'm going to the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And that's a couple-year assignment. And I'm starting the Army War College in August. So I'll be studying military strategy. And then if all goes well, I do a brigade command. And a brigade command can be anywhere from 1,000 to 2,500 soldiers.
Whoa, that's a lot.
And then if you do really, really, really well and you're like in the top 5, 10%, then you have a shot at being a general officer. But that would be incredible and hard. But I'm very, very happy I'm where I am. I just loved wearing the uniform. I love leading America's. I go off of America's military, and I'm in the Army, so I'll talk the Army. Is just everything right. I mean, I got a great photo of. I think it was the shortest soldier in the Army was in my unit. She was like 4'11", black woman from Chicago. She was amazing. I got this great picture, and I think she's in a hole and I'm on a hill, and she's saluting me, and it's like we were like just buds. And it's just like if everyone could see just how America works together. I mean, I had immigrants in my unit from around the world. A Ukrainian immigrant, I had immigrants from Africa. Just great, great people. It's everything that's going right in our nation is you could see it in the military.
We've never had a general on the show. How cool would that be?
Yeah.
Oh, I could get you a general on the show if you want.
Oh, yeah.
General Ernie Latinsky is a CEO locally. He's in Franklin, a friend of mine. He was my battalion commander when I was a company commander.
Wow.
And he's a 2-star general right here.
Ooh.
And the other person in Milwaukee who was really high up there is Dirk Debbink, who
I've met him, the admiral.
Yes, he was a 3-star admiral. He's in charge of all the naval reserves. So we have some stars walking around the area.
Memorial Day, Dale, when you think about this weekend that we go into, what are the thoughts you have about Memorial Day and what it means?
Yeah, well, I see faces. In particular, I remember being deployed to Iraq with my friend Major Dwayne Kelly. He was also another tall guy, and so we'd also talk hoops, and we kind of talk trash talk back and forth. He was a state trooper in New York City and New Jersey, and would go back and forth. And he was on a mission. He was in a really, really hard part of Baghdad called Sadr City. And there was a 13-year-old boy that took a backpack in that meeting. That backpack had a bomb in it. Killed 2 U.S. service members that day. 2 civilians from the U.S. government as well, the State Department. And so I think about him because it's just easier to think about a specific face. So I have what they call a hero bracelet I wear. My friend Craig Dumais and we started a not-for-profit called The Grateful Nation. So it's almost like trading cards. We don't call them that because that's a little disrespectful. It does, but they're cards that highlight the faces of those that have died for our country from our founding till today. It's called The Grateful Nation. Just Google it, check it out. And our mission is to push out to people the stories of these remarkable people that have died for our nation. And any given, card, like they're black, they're white, they're Latino, they're male, they're female, they're tall, they're short, they're from California, they're from Wisconsin. It's just America. So I think about that. It's an important day for me. I always take a moment. We usually have big parties with friends, and I'll usually call everybody. Well, like big party, like say, "Hey, everyone, just listen up. I want to talk about this." And I'll say, "Everyone, raise your glasses." And sometimes what we'll do is we'll pour some out. It's like, raise your glass and pour some out for Major Dwayne Kelly and pour another one out for everyone else that's not here.
Wow.
Another thing I do is I'll go out when I wear the hero bracelet, and then I wear it from Memorial Day until the day that Major Dwayne Kelly was killed, which is like mid-June. And then it doesn't work out every day, depends on the schedule, but I'll go out to a restaurant and I'll order a beer for myself and a beer for Major Kelly, and then that beer's not touched. You leave that there.
Wow.
So some people probably look like, why did that guy just leave a full beer? They're like, that's for my buddy Major Kelly.
That's strong.
Thank you for sharing that. I love that.
That's a great tribute. That's really, really
That's
cool.
wonderful.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about something not so great, though. Milwaukee Public Schools, they missed another deadline, and we're about to hit our biennial budget that's going to be due very soon this summer. So they missed a deadline by 4 days, and then they have another deadline by the end of this month. And Brenda Cassellius was actually 12 News got a hold of her.
Yeah, listen to this, Dale. Then we'll ask you to respond. Emily Pofall, reporter at Channel 12.
We know exactly the list of things that have to be done and have to get in. The team is working with urgency and trying to get all of the validation errors. There are some changes between our computer systems and their computer systems.
Okay, so that's the superintendent saying now it's apparently a computer issue, and they're trying to work through
everybody,
it.
So first of all, I don't think Dr. Cassellius deserves any slack at this point. She just walked in the job, and she has so much on her plate. It's unfair to have her. I mean, she just got there, so to beat her up and say, "What's your," and also they are hiring new teams. I know we talked to Dr. Cassellius was in front of our the MMAC board this week. I've had a couple of meetings with her. She's very available and accessible. I know she is putting a huge sense of urgency on this and holding the team accountable and saying, this is the top priority. You are doing this. So this is to be expected. I mean, when they missed the first report, everyone that knows, by the way, I used to audit Milwaukee Public Schools. Oh. I used to be an auditor for them 20 years ago. When I was at KPMG, it was one of my clients. So it doesn't get fixed right away. I mean, this is...
But this is affecting our budget for all the other schools.
I'm not saying that this is not a big deal. It's a big deal. I'm saying it's predictable, and the person that should be held accountable, which is a superintendent of school board, is under circumstances where you've got to give them a little grace, and there needs to be a little grace here, time for them to fix it and do it right. Because the way it works with accounting, I could tell you as a CPA, that you got to do it and you got to do it right. If you're not doing it right, you don't want to report false information. So you're kind of in a
which MPS
no-win situation, right? You're like, okay, let's do it. And previously they put in bad information. So I know they're trying to do it and do it right and do it fast, and there's a balance there. So I think they deserve a little bit of grace on this. And I think everything I hear from Dr. Cassellius is she gets the urgency, and they want to do it and do it right. And if this is still an issue, 60 days from now, I think you raise the volume. But right now, they're working it.
If this was a business, though, what would happen? And they missed it this many times.
Well, so the best comparable, because MPS is bonds, so they have things they need to report to the bond market. In public companies, if a public company just said we're going to miss earnings, like they would eventually, their stock would go down. They would be delisted. There would be criminal charges, possibly from the SEC and or civil fines and prosecution. So, if this is a public company, there would be a massive loss in wealth and market cap. There would be civil and criminal actions taken by the SEC.
All right, let's take 1 minute here to ask you about one more thing. Port Washington improving annexation, paving way for a data center development. This is good news.
Well, it's going to be one of the largest data centers in the world. This was our M7 team that's been working on this forever. So MMAC has an economic development team called M7. and very proud of the work we've done there, and great work by Port Washington Mayor Lightsky up there. And our team worked with the Madison legislators, bipartisan support on changing some TIF laws to make this happen. Also got a unanimous vote last night to do some annexation of land required to do it. But we need to be part of this 21st century economy, and this puts us, boom, right there in some massive, massive $1 billion in CapEx. And, these are high-paying six-figure jobs. So Milwaukee is going to be in the game. We're in the game. We got Microsoft to the south. We got this project to our north, and all sorts of companies all around here that are using this type of data center technology for advanced manufacturing and education.
Good stuff. Lieutenant Colonel and the guy in charge of MMAC,
Amazing.
Dale Koinga. Thank you for your service, Dale, and thanks for always spending some time with us.
Such a great show. Your show is great.
You should be on every day.
These are your business